Okay, today we're going to be doing something a little bit different in replit. And the replit that we're going to be using is not the classroom replit that we're used to. So for example, here we are. You log into your replit. It looks like this. And typically it says either student or teacher right down here. Mine doesn't show it, so I've got to click on this menu here. You guys will click on student. And this is how you typically go and log into my classroom. Well, I'm going to show you something else about replit. Maybe some of you have already played around with this, but there's many other options. If you choose not to go into a classroom, so instead of doing this, teacher or student, you've got these other options called My Replit, where you can go and play around and make your own code and test it and so forth when you're not in my classroom, not in one of my assignments. So that's what we're going to start doing today, because we're going to be using something called Turtle and in Python, and that will be something that we import in. So let me just show you what you're going to do. You're going to click on New Replit. We're going to start a new one. And now mine, because I've just used Turtle before I started recording, it's the latest one. If you don't see Python with Turtle, if you just see Python, you're going to have to scroll down until you find it. And notice all the Pythons have the same little icon picture. And there's a variety of different languages that are associated with Python, using Python languages, but they're like add-ons or something like that. In this case, it has the Turtle option. So we're going to choose that one with Turtle. And then by default, they make some funny replit just makes up funny names, so you get some random name for a file name instead of unnamed 1, unnamed 2, unnamed. So I like to just, let's see, what's this one going to be? I'm going to say it's expanding rectangle. And then when I hit OK to start, replit created, brings me to this screen. Sometimes it'll sit there, that box will stay open, and it just turns gray. Then just click outside of it, click over here somewhere, and then it should go away. Right now mine behind here says failed to load, so I'm just going to pause the video until it loads, and then I'll start back up. Okay, so then you have a blank screen here. It's a little bit reversed. Not reversed, I shouldn't say, but from our classroom, you've got the output screen right down here. This time it's over on this side of the screen, and where you type your code is over here. Alright, so now that we're going to be using Turtle, I'm going to go ahead and just paste a couple lines here that I had typed in. From Turtle import, you guys will have to type this to import the Turtle module, and then we can start using the commands within the Turtle. Now what is the Turtle? It's used for drawing on the screen. It's just very primitive, just very elementary. But it's a good way for us to learn some new commands, and a good way for us, and so we're going to learn some new concepts like the for loop in the next lesson. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and just type in a command, forward 10 units, and then turn left 90 degrees. So if I hit run, the little turtle is the triangle, by the way, and then it turned right, which means it, well, I'll just show you. I'll do this again. Let's copy. Then hit enter and paste, enter, paste, enter, paste. Now, why did I call it expanding rectangle? Well, first I'll just run it like this, but instead of 10, let's go 100, because it's a little bit too small. And let's run. Alright, cool. So it worked. Okay, so I just copied and pasted down some more, and this time I increased the forward by 10 each time. So instead of just going 100 the second time, now it goes 110, 120, 130, 140, and that's why I called it expanding rectangle. So let's see if it does that. It should go a little bit further each time by 10, increasing by 10. So cool, it's working. Now I could copy paste all of this, paste it, and then just keep changing these numbers. but there's another way. There's quite a few ways that we can do this to make it a little bit easier. Let's use the while loop. So I'm going to use a while loop, but before I do so I need to set up a variable. Let's see, if we just say x equals 100, because what I want to do is use this variable x, forward x. And then I want it to increment, or excuse me, I want to set it into a while loop. While x is, let's go up to, let's see, we're at 1, let's go up to 200. Yeah, let's go up to 200. While x is less than 200, keep doing whatever is indented underneath the while loop. Oops, I made a mistake. I need to use the colon. And so now if I take this guy, this forward, let's just backspace until it comes up, hit enter. After a colon, it indents automatically where it's supposed to be. Good. And then I take this guy, and it's indenting, and I'm going to get rid of these guys. And so now, look at this, nice and simple code, and every time it goes through the while loop, I want that x to increase by 10, because I want it to go forward an extra 10. So I'm just going to say x equals x plus 10. And now each time, so the second time through it'll be 110, then 120, and let's see if this works. Hey, so far so good. And will it stop? Let's see, at 200 that would be what? 12 times? Okay, so it went ahead and stopped, or 10 times. And so, there's one more thing. You know, I don't like waiting so long. I want to see if it draws, because we're going to want to do some more elaborate things. We want it to draw faster. So there's another command that we can use that's called speed command. I think by default it's like either like 3 or 4 or something like that. But I'm going to put it at 100 so it draws really fast. Now let's see what happens. Yeah, super. Ooh, that's even so fast you can't even watch it draw. Let's try 10. Anyway, you guys can play around with it. I just wanted to let you know that you can increase the speed. Alright. So now, after this video, I want you guys to play around. Now, what if you want to try different commands? You're like, Mr. G, I don't want it to just go left or just forward. I want to try something else. Oh, and besides commands, you can also try different degrees. Watch, 92. Oops, what did I do here? Then watch, it's not exactly even, which is fine. Have some fun with it. So I want you guys to make a basic while loop and do something like I just did and have it doing something, moving forward, left. You can have it move forward more than once in the loop if you want. So you can play around with that using a while loop and draw some fancy design on the screen. You know, don't spend more than 15 minutes or so, because then what I really want, I'm going to show you the for loop in the next video. But now before I do this, before you start messing around with it for about 15 minutes here, I want to show you one more thing, and that is Python commands for Python turtle commands. There it is. Python turtle commands, and I want to get the one that's the docs Python. You can go anywhere, but this is the official website of Python, python.org. And this is cool because, oh, look at that, they got a fancy, here they are, they're using while true, forward, they're using a while loop. And then absolute, break, we haven't learned those functions yet, or those commands. But that's cool, you could even copy this and paste it and play around to see if it works there. They also use color, red and yellow. But what about the basic commands? Here we are, turtle commands, forward. Oh, look at that. You can abbreviate it by FD, using FD instead of forward. So a lot of these are abbreviations. Left, right can also be abbreviated. Now there's one more thing I wanted to point out is pen up. Let's see, I don't see that on here. Setting, here we go, pen control. So let's say you want it to move somewhere else on the screen, but you don't want it to draw a line. Then you use the pen up function, and then say move 100, then it'll move 100, then pen down, and then it'll keep drawing for over there. And that's a way to break it up if you wanted to make like a picture for non-continuous lines. And the last thing I need to share with you is you are not turning this one in. I'll show you in the next video how you're going to turn it into me. But in this case, you're not turning this one in. I just wanted you guys to spend some time playing around with this, even if you do something as basic as I just did, just to run it and get to use this user interface. Now, on the next video, I'm going to have you guys share it, and you're going to email it to me, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, have some fun with it.